This has been one of the darkest weeks we've experienced in our lifetimes. The air feels heavy, our hearts are breaking, and for many, the loneliness and desperation can feel inescapable. Just over a week ago, we witnessed the most gruesome and hate-filled attack our world has maybe ever seen. Taking a step back from the atrocities committed, the sheer ability for this anti-Semitic act to have happened has uncovered deep wounds and unearthed lasting trauma that our people have been working to move past for decades. My heart breaks for my Jewish peers, the family and loved ones of those so senselessly murdered, and the innocent people currently held hostage with no end in sight. Let's be clear, the terrorist attack orchestrated last Saturday by Hamas against Israel is just that, an act of terror, and is unequivocally unconscionable. In the days that followed, as we all struggled with what to do and how to help, I found myself reaching out to my Jewish colleagues, those I know with family and friends in Israel, and I became just 2 degrees removed from the devastation that so many were facing. I'll never forget the moment I received a response from one colleague, that his friend's wife was murdered by Hamas in front of her family, the daughter kidnapped, the 2 young boys watching it, all in hiding, and now that friend is missing too. I was asked to try and help people flee the violence, including a constituent and friends of mine from college, all of whom I'm happy to report have made it out safely. And just yesterday, I received a desperate plea from a friend asking for help for their friend who has 6 family members currently held hostage in Gaza, including 3-year-old twins. These are moments that will stay with me forever. But I'm sure nearly every person in this room has had this experience over the last few days. Each one of us has at least one connection. We are bonded in that shared trauma, and it begs the question around the world, where is our humanity? Our collective hearts are breaking for the state of our world today. Between the horrific events last week to the hatred and animosity that we are seeing for one another being displayed across our country. From the murder of a 6-year-old Palestinian boy in Illinois, to the swastikas and anti-Semitic vandalism found today at the beloved 2nd Avenue Deli in New York City. Our human society must be better than this. We must demand better than this. The world I believe in is one where we respect, support, and love one another. And yet we find ourselves grappling with the dehumanizing notion that after a millennia, we can still be blinded by hate, and we can still be led by fear. As a Jewish person, that's not the world I want to live in. It's not the world our faith uplifts. As Americans and as human beings, we believe that everyone has the right to live freely and without fear. The loss of innocent life for both Israeli and Palestinian, Jewish and Muslim is criminal. We must protect the safety of all innocent people. We must focus on the safe rescue and release of the 199 hostages. We must prioritize aid for everyone. We must find our shared humanity and let our better angels take the wheel and rise to this occasion, because we all must want better. We together are bonded in this responsibility because the next generation deserves better from us. In times of darkness, I look for the light. And in this moment, it's the regular, everyday people who have stood the brightest. It's the Israeli Arab paramedic who, instead of fleeing to safety, chose to stay at the Nova Music Festival to treat those who had been injured. He defiantly stated that he was not leaving, and he hoped he could reason with the attackers to save lives. His selflessness cost him his. It's the Israeli soldier who died on the front lines, but in his death was able to give an organ to an Israeli child who had been in need of one, saving yet another life in his passing. It's the 25-year-old military security coordinator who saved her entire kibbutz when she heard the bombings and leapt into action, arming the rest of the civilian military team and devising a plan to keep her community safe. Thanks to her, her entire community survived. It's the 22-year-old bartender who became known as the curly-haired angel for saving the lives of 2 festival goers shortly before he was gunned down driving to safety. It's the thousands of people who are showing up day after day to sit Shiva with strangers so that families will have someone to grieve with, and so that the country can together remember the slain. These ordinary people, and so many more, are the heroes of our time. They embody the very ideals that we hold so dear, that community, love, and compassion will always prevail over evil, and that strength comes from each other. Their actions represent the human spirit, a spirit that cannot be broken even in the most desperate of times. It's the true essence of good, the resolve in the face of danger, the drive for protection of your fellow human when one is in harm's way. Let us remember them, let us honor them, and let us continue to have hope in what feels like the never-ending cycle of darkness, because without it, we lose that human spirit. There is no other acceptable path forward. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for having me, and I stand with you. Thank you.